Welcome back to another day on the Lorcana Pixelborn client. Today I bring you a list direct from the comments from an Illumineer named Michael. This bounce list focuses on the proven strategy of bouncing your characters back to your hand, both for safety from removal after questing and to help hit your ink drops each turn. With this deck, we want to start out by being aggressive with our lore characters such as Maleficent Biding Her Time and Pascal, Rapunzel's companion. Maleficent can net us lore multiple times thanks to Madame Mim's Snake's bounce effect, or with our own befuddle to make a tempo play on our opponent's character, buying us another round with Maleficent. Alternatively, we can play a Pascal and utilize his ability to gain evasive to gain lore while he's protected. He also acts as a target for the mandatory bounce that Madame Mim's Snake and Fox both require. If our opponent is slow enough, we may be able to hit a turn 2 Pinocchio Star Attraction and get really aggressive with the questing. The ability to return characters to our hand is key to protecting these fragile lore hunters and can make the early game quite challenging for our opponents. With that being said, we also run 4 copies of Arthur, Wizard's Apprentice. His built-in bounce gains bonus lore for as long as he sticks around, and he too can be protected by befuddles and mims if all things line up. I honestly expect Arthur to eat any targeted removal our opponent may have in hand, which is his true purpose in the deck, but don't be afraid to take advantage of his huge lore swing. A turn 2 Pinocchio followed by turn 3 Arthur could spell a 6 lore swing by turn 4, with plenty of ink to replay Pinocchio for another 3 on the following turn. When the early game turns sour, we can pick up the pressure by playing either the Prince Never Gives Up or Donald Duck Musketeer, and take advantage of their bodyguard ability to keep the lore pressure going. With the right curve and no interaction from our opponent, the ceiling on this deck's lore aggression is quite high. Remember, your opponent won't let you get away with this, but turn 1 Maleficent, turn 2 Pinocchio, questing for 2, turn 3 Arthur, questing for 5, turn 4 the Prince in Bodyguard, quest for 8, bouncing Maleficent back to hand with Arthur and replay Maleficent would leave us with 15 lore, a full board, and a bodyguard for protection by the end of turn 4. It's Christmas land, but it does leave us room for a turn 5 game victory. We are playing a handful of support characters that mainly draw us cards, so we can be as aggressive as possible. A Cusco, Wanted Llama, who can quest and draws a card when he's banished. Yzma, Alchemist, who quests and fixes the top of our deck, but also serves as a shift target for Yzma, Scary Beyond All Reason, who can either draw us 2 cards or remove a threat our opponent has. The Huntsman, Reluctant Enforcer, with a loot ability on his quest trigger. Maleficent, Sorceress, who draws a card upon play. Merlin Rabbit, who draws a card both on play and on leaving. And Beast, Tragic Hero. The only cards that don't go aggro or draw cards are Olaf, who is mainly ink, Jafar, Royal Vizier, who helps to deal with those evasive threats, and Merlin Goat, who can be a surprise victory with its enter and leave the battlefield triggers. That's the deck. Let's jump in and see if we can't win a few. Ketchup mustard. Oh, we got a Prince. A Prince is huge. I will get rid of the entire rest of the hand. Let's go for that turn 5 win. Ooh, it's actually looking very promising. Goat gone. Maleficent down. Pass turn. Not everyone's running the launcher, so it is important to try to hide our colors occasionally. Opponent doesn't know that we're possibly double color, what our second color is. It's not a guarantee that they know that we're steel. I got two options here. I can continue to develop or play a prince. Cost 2. Cost 2 or less. Let's continue going wide. Aggro. 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 This is turn 3. I'm at 7 lore. That's pretty wild. Now it's time for a prince. Oh, another befuddle. That's just rude. And opponents had enough. I'm giving away the new Rise of the Floodborn booster box this month, January. I'll be giving them away February 4th-ish during a live stream. All you have to do is make sure that you are subscribed, a member of the Discord channel, and most importantly, share each and every video that you come across. Those 3 things is all you need. That'll get you in for the raffle. We'll be doing the live stream again in February, early February. Don't miss your chance to win a free booster box. Alrighty then. Oh, I got a prince. Prince and a Donald. Keep the bodyguards. I have a curve. I have a curve with bodyguards. Alright, Olaf is usually just ink, but in this case he is my 1-drop. Okay. I have a feeling my opponent's gonna have a lot of evasive, so I think Jafar's actually going to be really relevant here. When I think Ruby Emerald, I do think evasive colors. But the Huntsman's kind of my only card draw. That is tough. That's tough because it genuinely is like my only card draw. Now, opponent could technically use Sergeant Tibbs, do the 2 damage to Olaf, then do a Teeth and Ambitions to take out the Pinocchio to maximize all of the damage they can do. Another Donald. I don't think I need 2 Donalds. Certainly wouldn't hurt though. It's kind of starting to get expensive. Play an Arthur, pass the turn, set up my bodyguard next turn. Now if I set up Prince, they will have to send Cheshire Cat and Sergeant Tibbs at the Prince to take it down. Put out Donald, same thing. So there's still always one loose thread. However, with a Pascal, I can develop a little further. Quest, quest, quest. Use his ability. Let's bounce the Pinocchio. I should have left the Pinocchio. I should have bounced the Olaf. That was a mistake. We are gonna go Prince. Yep, that was a mistake. I was just really eager to protect Pinocchio. And you know what? That's probably fine. 2 characters takes down Prince. 1 character takes down Pinocchio. So maybe that was the correct choice. Just takes an additional moment of thought. Well, they have Ring the Bell. They could have done a single point of damage to Prince and then removed it. There it goes. And then I got nothing you can actually defeat. Alright. Quest. 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 I'll bounce the ol off. I will ink the ol off. Now, Daisy's gonna make me discard. So either I play the bodyguard and I'm discarding Pinocchio. Bodyguard protects my board. I'll have a potential other opportunity to get Arthur to do some stuff. Or I play the beast. I think I'm gonna go bodyguard. It's possible my opponent's got Big Aladdin and we're in trouble. We'll just hope he doesn't have Big Aladdin. It's a good sign for Big Aladdin. Okay, they gotta ring the bell. Opponent's gonna trade their board. Yep, they're still looking at Donald Duck. Oh, they're gonna bounce. Oh, they really... Oh, they bounced Arthur. Okay. I thought for sure they were gonna bounce Donald Duck and then attack an Arthur, do the trade. Well, they wouldn't even have to trade. They could Daisy Duck attack it. Alright, opponent. What's the plan now? It's a weird attack. I don't like these not inkables. Let's get the beast down. I need to get some inkables. Alright, Big Aladdin remains a problem. Not a lot I can do about it, though. I suppose except for only questing with Pascal. Well, you only get one attack, opponent. Because Donald's gonna drop to whatever you throw at him. Gonna bounce the beast. Oh yeah. Hey, I'm happy to actually see the Donald gone, if I'm being totally honest. Discard an Arthur. Don't mind some inkables. Oh, let's see. If I go Pinocchio, Arthur, quest with Pascal here. I'm looking at 6 lore on the following turn. So they have to take some lore away from me to not be dead. Alright. Let's see if they can do it. Daisy Duck takes my beast away, but they need to hit me with lore. They need Aladdin. Or Lady Tremaine. The little ones. They both take lore. That's not gonna do it. Bye-bye, beast. There it is. And so far, this is the longest game this deck has been in. Time for some revenge. Going first, and I got a prince. Alright, I'm gonna get rid of the entirety of the rest of the hand. Let's go for the curve. Got the Arthur. Huntsman turn 2. No turn 1s. No turn 1s. That is very unfortunate. Yeah, we'll get rid of a Huntsman. It pains me. My only inkables are the cards I want to keep right now. The cards I need for my early game. Thank you. I'll get my Huntsman down. Cannons. Well, there goes my filtering away the uninkables. You don't see cannons very much in there in this opponent's deck. It's not a song. get a prince down. Prince quest for 2. Don't forget to ink opponent. Opponent forgot to ink. Very interesting. Alright, it would take both their characters to take down the prince. And the prince doesn't take anything with him. I'll play O'Donnell Duck and pass the turn. Alright, definitely need to get Rabbit down though. Need to get me some inkables. Want to try to get to at least 6 ink. Gonna shift. Interesting. If they're running Big Goofy, it's a Mufasa deck. Okay. Cannons. Sure. Alright, I definitely take down the Stitch. Don't have a way to bounce my Donald, so they're gonna get card draw off of that attack. I need ink. Hoo-hoo! If it can be done, it will be done! Uninkable forever. Nope, that's the shirt, right? Forever uninkable. I mean, the deck's running 13, which is about 3 more than where I want to be. There's an ink. Alright, we are looking at a pretty unfortunate swords turn. Opponent hasn't presented themselves as a song deck. So we will find out. Make something a little cheaper. It's a free Stitch. Captain Hook to get back a fire the cannons. Now they can still ink. So we'll lose our Pinocchio. Oh, they didn't do it. Well, let's be aggressive. Be aggressive. Alright, bounce the Pinocchio. Let's see, if I ink this, I get us to the 6th where we want to be. Pinocchio's the target of the fire of the cannon, so we'll get that out of the way. And Goat will be my new Arthur target. Let's see, Goat's gonna quest. It's gonna bounce back for 1. It's gonna play for 1. Arthur gains the 1. Arthur gains the 2 from the ability. Prince gains 2. That's 8 lore. We don't even need to care about the Pinocchio at this point. Now, they could Captain Hook and Stitch the Prince. That would do it. It would keep me off of lethal. Takes me down to 6 lore gained. Well, that's a mistake, because you can't attack Arthur. Alright. Quest. Quest. Bounce. Let's play the Befuddle into the Inkwell. So I can Goat. Alright, Goat by himself is just lethal. There's no way to deal with the Goat and not lose from this position. So my opponent's only option is to win the game right now. They have to get the 20 lore right now. They could have attacked my lore, but their colors don't do it, so. Alright, good game, opponent. Give him the well played. This one will be interesting. If it's the discard deck, it'll be interesting because we tend to just plummet our hand pretty quickly. Alright, I do have a bodyguard. I will hold him. I would prefer the prince. And I'll keep one Pinocchio. Okay, well, this is looking a little less good. Although I do got a turn 1. Turn 2, I could quest, bounce it with the Madam Mim. See, I don't need 2 Donalds. I think I'll start by inking a Donald. And I always ink Maleficent. It's just because it's at such an awkward turn, and turn 3 is usually a pretty big turn for us. But it looks like this hand's not going to have a huge turn 3 priority, unless we draw into one. So we'll see if I can hold on to Maleficent. She may be inked since we just drew a rabbit. Always uninkable. Forever uninkable. That's it. Forever uninkable. I really need to have a shirt made. Cinderella, Cinderella. Alright. It's important to see what your opponent's discarding. So they inked a big tink and then discarded a little tink. Which makes me think either they have multiples of both, or they had big tink, no little tink, inked it, and then immediately drew little tink. But this game's not that clever. I could see from where they discarded from. So if they would have drew little tink, it actually would have been on this side. Just a little... There's no randomization. I can't change the order of my hand. I can't grab a card and move it. So I actually know like what my opponent's roughly up to. Okay, so at this point, I want to play Pinocchio, which means my turn 3 is going to be Madam Mim, bouncing Pinocchio most likely. So my turn 3 is actually not looking great. Awkward. Sorry, Maleficent. I tried. But I really don't want to get into a long game if I can help it. That is the last thing this deck wants to do. Oh, so they drew a little tink this turn. Ooh, that Robin Hood is a pain in my butt. That is the last card we want to see. So officially the Pinocchios are problematic at best. They get played, they get dead. Huntsman just died. Let's see, if I bounce Pinocchio, then my Pascal is in trouble. If I bounce the Pascal, I can replay the Pascal. Pinocchio's still the target here. However, they could opt to just attack the Pinocchio and then ping the Pascal. Both of these options don't look great. Question is, Madam Mim's going to bounce one. If Robin Hood activates or quests, Madam Mim will defeat the Robin Hood. So they'll need a second one. I mean, I could have a turn 4 play double Pinocchio, turn 5 play the bodyguard. Let's go for it. We really want them to actually do something with the Robin Hood. We don't want them to keep it, and we don't want them to play a second one. It's a ping deck though. I just saw their beast. It's a ping deck. Alright, that's actually exactly what we wanted. 1000% want to defeat that. It's a ping deck, which means beast never works. We could be going into a turn 5 swords. So I might want to, play around that. Let's do it. Let's play around it. That's exactly what they want to do. They want to swords me. It could be that that was the fearful play, but because we haven't seen swords yet. It's likely in their deck because they care about dealing damage. And there's likely 4 of them. So there's a very good chance that they actually have the swords. See, Conquest deals a damage to Merlin, then they play swords, wipe out my board. Let's check out the cat. I do think my entire board is incredibly weak, or my entire hand / my board is very weak. Because I know they have grab your swords. So I need to make them play it. Their hand isn't very big, so if I can make them play it. The only way I'm going to make them play it is if I play a Pinocchio. I think Hans will do the damage to Merlin, and then they would swords. I have to go wider. No, because they can control the board from this position. Goat. Funny enough, I don't think the bodyguard means anything anymore because of the style of deck they are. So I'm going to give them just enough cards that hopefully they'll go for the swords. See, Cindy attacks Merlin. Hans' quest does the damage to Merlin, the other Merlin. Swords wipes out the board. Well, they're gonna shift. But will they sing? Okay, well if they're doing the damage to the Pascal, they're likely not singing. It hurts, but it's one of the only ways we get to take down Cinderella. Don't like making my opponent draw. Oh, it was a storm, not a swords. Alright, it's time to play Pinocchios one at a time. Oh, opponent's really going for it. This is a mistake, but opponent's going for it. I want to go for it too. Should have taken out the Hans, but we are being aggro, not combative. That nukes a Pinocchio. A hook. Really? Well, I quest for 5 here. Alright, this game has officially become the longest game this deck's ever been a part of. But I think it's about to be over. Unless opponent top deck that swords. Come on, no swords. They can still sing a swords, drawing it off of this card. Yes, I will draw a card. And now they take out the Merlin, because they have to, and I draw another card. Donald. Donald would be a lot tougher to deal with. Alright, but opponent's on +7, so I do need to remove some threats. How do I remove threats? I actually don't. I'm 1 point shy of dealing with stuff. See, they're on +7. If I get a befuddle, I'm still in the game. Bottom of deck. It all comes down to this. Befuddle. Not a befuddle! Dang it! And that is the game. Second. Oh, well, I do have Prince. Let's get rid of everything else. See if I can fill the curve or get some befuddles. Okay. Not bad. They're all inkable, which is fantastic. Going second is a huge pain, though. Opponent did nothing. That is a good start. Simba Bodyguard. Flute. Okay, they are a very heavy song-themed deck. Wow, opponent again did nothing. Could go for the cost play, but I don't want to. I want to go for the aggro play. The cost play being spending my ink efficiently. All of it on the maximum number of cards I can. Just so happens that the maximum is also not very big. Alright, here comes a Prince and Bodyguard. I know that they just got the let the storm rage on, so we're losing a Maleficent no matter what. But we're not losing it to an attack. Dang, opponent does have the swords. It's a nice turn 3. Return 4 swords from the aerial. Alright, we're going to quest with the Prince, and I am going to deal with the aerial ASAP. Oh, he's got a bodyguard. Of course, I'm familiar with bodyguards. I know how those work. I've seen them before. There's that storm. It is a song, so now they get the Sleepy Flute trigger. And I will ink the Prince. Man, if you can't deal with Ariel like instantly, she is just the biggest pain in the butt. There's a storm that takes out Maleficent. That's fine. Prince quest for 2 as well. He's just as potent as the Maleficents. Alright, something tells me my opponent would love to do a whole new world. And also wouldn't because my hand is so low. So I actually don't mind them drawing a few cards here. Oh, and that was it! Wow! Did not see that coming.